Jari Multisilta, very welcome to the podcast. This is a very special interview for me because we have a very interesting background together. And before we go into that, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself a little bit before leading up to the year of 2007 when your very particular research project started that brought us together a few years later.
Yeah, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. I started my research when I was doing my PhD thesis at Tampere University of Technology, and I always wanted to do something with learning and learning technologies. And at that time, in 1992 to 1996, I was creating a hypermedia-based learning environment for mathematics. It proved to be very successful in Tampere University of Technology, and I think I was pioneering on that area at that time. There were similar things going on around the world, but we were like doing things together, and that was the same time, or at about the same time when World Wide Web actually was established, and I turned my interest to more and more in using internet and web for learning, and that somehow has been like my research area to how to use technology, network, web, and all these mobile technologies for help people to learn. I was studying mathematics and computer science, so I think that those two topics gave me thinking tools. So these 21st century skills, what we speak today, so those both mathematics and computer science gave me like tools to think and develop new ideas and all that. So although I've not been doing work with mathematics, I've been doing work for enable people to learn mathematics, and yeah, then later on this like the subject of learning didn't matter that much, but the tools and the technology. So I consider myself like educational technologist, although I have this mathematics background. I think early 2000, when people like realized that there is a lot of potential in these new ICT tools that we have. It's not anymore like doing things with MS-DOS, but you have graphical interfaces, and you have well, we had CD-ROMs at that time, and that of course opened up a lot of new possibilities with for example video, to include video in CD-ROMs and show in that way you can like demonstrate the topic what you are learning much more. But yeah, I think in early 2000 we started to talk more about more about tools to help people to learn with the technology. After 2000, after I did my PhD thesis, I got the professorship from Tampere University of Technology, from the distance campus from Pori, and I established my own research group there. So it took a couple of years to build up the research group and the capacity to create like research. We were doing smaller and bigger projects on educational technology, and then came the opportunity to go to the Stanford, and that was actually like a larger thing in Finland. So all the Finnish educational technology and education researchers decided jointly that we would like to work with the people who are like in the top of the world, in the highest ranking university that is possible. So we would like to create the contacts there and work together with them. And then the first connections to Stanford was made, and soon after that I got the chance to go to Stanford for a short period, for a 6-week period at that time. And I was there like absorbing all the tech ideas and all that, and I was attending, actually I think it was the first Google Developers Conference, and they had a tech demo there. They asked to take a video with your mobile phone and upload it to the YouTube. That was really new at that time, 2007.
Yes.
So I did that in the conference in San Jose in a big conference hall. 15-second video. It took like 15 minutes to upload it to the YouTube. But anyway, I was thinking that how could I use this in my work? How could I use this to enable people to learn better? And it was that summer at Stanford when I realized that actually making videos is a very good way to learn new things. By making a video and with your video explaining to others what you see or what you think, or make you like help you understand some phenomena or so on. So at that time the technology was very limited, but the idea was there, and then we started to, in my research groups, we started to develop the idea of movie, the mobile video experience. 2007, the summer was that summer when iPhone was launched. So nobody actually had very good experiences on mobile phones or how to use mobile phones, except calling and sending text messages. And iPhone actually opened the possibility to create apps. Well, first it was only Apple-made apps, but later they opened the system. I had Nokia phone at that time, and it was one of those Nokia multimedia phones. So it had apps and kind of multimedia capabilities. But anyway, the Facebook was new. It was really new at that time. People didn't know how to use, or it was totally different way of using Facebook at that time. All these things were so new, and it was just starting to find out how to actually use the social media. 2008 and 2009 I was with Nokia Research Center at Tampere, and the research there was more or less using mobile media for working and mobile phones for work. But there was also a lot of discussions going on about experiences. So in Nokia we believed that people will be sharing their experiences with the mobile device, and well, social media was not the hot topic at that time yet, but anyway, we understood that people will be sharing like videos from concerts and pictures from many places, and there, like my thinking, I got more clear vision of what I'm aiming to, and at the same time as I was at the Nokia, I was still leading my research group in Tampere University of Technology. So my researchers there were building the first version of movie, like the code base of the movie, and the first experiments were related to experiences. And the first idea was that we will share videos and improvise. So if you send me a video, I can see it and I can improvise my own video based on what I see, what you did. And the analogy was kind of jazz music. So if you are playing this theme and then I'm doing a solo, and then you are next and you will do something similar but different. So that was the first idea, like quite maybe more experience or art project than learning. Anyway, we found out that people like to share things using the video. And actually the next thing was that I was back to the Stanford in 2010 with Hannele Niemi from the University of Helsinki, and we started to create an idea of larger research project on sharing the experience and using mobile technology for that. And we realized that experiential learning theory would be the one that obviously fits to this picture. So the pedagogy was there at that point, and that's what we did together with Hannele, and we also talked with Google folks and we talked with Apple people and shared our ideas and got good feedback. But we got really good feedback from some of the schools in Bay Area also, and some schools wanted to try out our movie platform at that time, and we got a quite large funding from Academy Finland and Tekes for developing movie further, and we got partners from Greek and Spain and some other countries and schools. So we started to experiment with the stories that kids created in these schools in different countries. They shared the stories and they learned from each other by sharing these stories. And some of the stories were based on the local history. For example, in Greek, the students created videos about Greek mythology and those stories, and that was the time when there was a lot of financial problems in Greek, and some of the stories helped actually to talk these kind of difficult issues to fifth grader or sixth grader, so it helped in that way. I think that we have to learn how we apply artificial intelligence in like every sector in our life, also in the learning. If I think about the student who is doing, for example, his or her thesis using AI, using ChatGPT, for example, it is not that you write there that please write my thesis on this and that topic. Well, you can do that, but if you want to get something really meaningful out of the ChatGPT, you have to make right questions. So you have to understand your topic so that you can make the right questions. So I think that learning always starts by making the right questions and making enough questions. And when you make a question, you have to quite deeply think your problem or your task. You have to divide it to the parts, and you have to like evaluate if the answer you got from the artificial intelligence is it valuable, is it useful, and maybe it like makes you ask new questions. And this is actually exactly the same thing that we wanted to do with mobile videos. So we wanted that people start making questions with the video. So I think that artificial intelligence is a very good tool if it's used in this way. I've been like following how the young people use the social media nowadays, and what we once thought that will be great tool for learning, like the technology, has turned out to be poison for some kids. So there are people who like live only maybe for the social media, and they get so many bad things out of social media. I feel sad to see how technology in many places nowadays is used. There was a great hope that bringing technology to the schools would motivate kids to work for the school issues, and nowadays there is a lot of discussion going on that maybe kids should leave the mobile phones out of the classroom so that it won't distract them for the learning. It's not the best solution to make like law-based restrictions or limitations, and I think we should learn to use the technology responsibly. Well, while I was at the University of Helsinki, it was called Cicero Learning Network, and part of that network was also the brain scientists. And I think that nowadays we need even more the brain scientists to help education people to take control of the technology, of the technological based tools. So I think we gave the tools, but we didn't teach teachers enough to teach how to use those tools. We realized that kids don't know how to use the tools in pedagogically meaningful ways, but somehow we didn't get our voice like big enough, so that we didn't have enough resources to teach teachers to use technology in a responsible way. So